complex permanent tissue. The different type of tissues we have discussed until now are all made of one type of cell. Okay, just now we have discussed all of them have a one type of cell. Okay, in a tissue you know it very well. When a group of cell get attached or a cluster of cell, okay, we say it as a tissue. Okay, in all this we have seen that all of them having a same type of cells. Okay, in a tissue the cells are present, all of them have a same type. Okay, all of them are in same type which look like each other. Okay, and also it is looking like each other. Such tissue are called simple permanent tissue. Okay, those tissue which are having a same characteristic as well as same phenomena of working. Okay, such type of tissue is known as simple permanent tissue. Yet another tissue of a permanent tissue is complex tissue. Okay, and there is another type of tissue which we say it as a complex permanent tissue. Complex tissue are made of more than one type of cell. Okay, now once again I am repeating, what is complex tissue? A complex tissue are made of more than one type of cell. Okay, in the tissue, okay, in the complex tissue there will be present of different type of cell. Okay, they get attached with each other. Okay, they will form a group, and that group of cell we say it as a tissue, and this tissue is a complex tissue. In short, there is a difference is that only in simple permanent tissue there will be a same type of cell. Okay, a tissue which are having a same type of cell, such tissue is known as simple permanent, while a tissue which are present in more than one, okay, and all of them have a different characteristics. Okay, such tissue is known as complex tissue. Complex tissue are made of more. Okay, just now we have discussed all these share coordinate to perform a common function. Okay, all of them are coordinate means they get arranged and coordinate with each other to perform a common function. Okay, they will react as if they are performing a same type of function, and they will form a same type of function also. Xylem and phloem are example of such complex tissue. Okay, which two? That xylem and phloem, okay, are the example of such complex tissue. So in complex tissue we can write xylem and phloem. They are both conducting tissue and constitute a vascular bundle. Okay, both of them are constituting a vascular bundle. Okay, there is a presence of vascular bundle and constitute. They will perform a vascular bundle. Okay, through which they can work it properly. Vascular or conductive tissue is a distinctive feature of a complex plant. Okay, complex plant, okay, which are present. Okay, in complex plant there is a presence of conductive tissue which have a distinct feature. Okay, features in the tissue whatever are present, they are performing a different type of features. Means all of them have a different function. Okay, their features are also different, but they get combined to perform a unique function. Which function? Unique. Unique means what? That performing a same function. That we say it as a unique function. Okay. One that has made possible their survival in the terrestrial environment. In figure 6.3, showing a section of a stem, can you see different type of cell in the vascular bundle? Okay. Here we can see phloem and xylem. Okay. Xylem consists of a trachea, vessel, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber. Okay. The cell have a thick wall. Their cells are having a thick wall, and many of them are dead cells. Many of them are also dead cells. Tracheids and vessels are tubular structure. Okay, tracheids and vessel. Okay, here you can see tracheids and vessel which are present. Okay, they are having a tube-like structure. Which type of structure? tube-like structure. Here you can see xylem parenchyma. Okay, this is a xylem parenchyma. Okay, so you can observe it, the structure of trachea, vessels, and xylem parenchyma. This allows them to transport water and mineral vertically. Okay, the structure is tubular structure, so what that it can easily transport water and mineral to the different parts of a plant. Okay, because of that structure it get easy to transport water and mineral, okay, from one point to another point or from one part to another part in a plant. Okay, so structure is as much easy or as much flexible that it can easily transport water and mineral from one part to another part of a plant. The parenchyma stores food and help in the sideway conduction of water. Now, parenchyma, what is the role of a parenchyma? That parenchyma store food and help in the sideway conducting of water. Okay, parenchyma will store the food as well as they will sideway the conduction of water. Water will be conducted sideway. That is the role of parenchyma. Fibers are mainly supportive in function. Okay, same way. Okay, fibers are also supportive. Fibers also helpful in the performing a function. Same way. Now the second one is the phloem. Okay, second complex tissue is made of a four type of element. Phloem is made up of four type of element, which sieve tubes, companion cell, phloem fiber, and phloem parenchyma. Okay, which are four? Sieve tube, companion cell, phloem fiber, and phloem parenchyma. Now the first is sieve tube. Okay, what is the role of sieve tube? Sieve tube are tubular cell with perforated wall. Okay, sieve tube having a tubular cell as well as having a wall of perforated. Same way, phloem is unlike xylem in that material can move in both directions in it. Okay, in phloem you can see that both the direction transportation or movement of a material can be seen. In phloem, movement can be upward also as well as it can be downward also. So, in all the direction, phloem can move its material. Okay, phloem transport food from leaves to other parts. Okay, for what is the role of phloem? Phloem transport food from leaves. Okay, leaves from leaves, the food can be transported to the different part of a plant. Except for phloem fiber, phloem cell are living cell. Phloem cell are living cell. Same way here, phloem structure you can see it. Xylem structure also you can see it. Okay. This is tracheids, vessel, and xylem parenchyma. Okay. In that you can see a pit are there. Okay. From that it can be transported easily. Nucleus is present. Cytoplasm is present in xylem parenchyma. Same way the type of complex tissue section of a phloem. Okay. Here you can see the structure of a phloem tissue. Okay. In phloem tissue you can see there is a presence of sieve plate. Okay. In the topmost part you can see that sieve plate are present. Same way. Okay. Beside it there is a presence of sieve tube. Okay. Same way parenchyma, phloem parenchyma are present in the outermost layer, which we say it as a wall. Okay. In the wall you can see there is a presence of phloem parenchyma. And same way companion cell, okay, which are present in the division of that particular wall. Okay, companion cell are present inside the wall. Okay, same way this is the structure of phloem. Once again I am repeating, sieve plate are present at the topmost part. Same way beside it there is a presence of sieve tube. Same way parenchyma. Okay, which parenchyma? Phloem parenchyma are present in the wall. Okay, in a wall, phloem parenchyma are present. Same way companion cell are inside a wall. So this is the section of phloem. Now we will start animal tissue. So just now we have completed plant tissue. Okay. Now the second one is the animal tissue. When we breathe, we can actually feel the movement of our chest. Okay. We are feeling that whenever we are breathing or respiring oxygen, at that time our chest get broad as well as what? Okay, contracted. Okay. Due to which, how does this body part move? For this, we have specialized cell called muscle cell. Okay. Our body are moving because of the muscle cells which are present in our body structure. In a body structure, you can see that muscle cells are very useful for performing any activity or doing any activity. So, it gets flexibilized our body. So, we can move in any direction. We can change our part, okay, or change our part or can able to do anywhere, okay, by flexibility. For this, we have specialized cell called muscle cells. To contraction and relaxation of this cell result in movement. For the movement, you can see that cell get contracted as well as it get relaxed. Okay, muscle cells get contracted as well as relaxed. Okay, during the activity. Here, the structure of stomach is given. Okay, in a stomach, you can see smooth muscle fiber are present. Okay, in a stomach, smooth muscle fiber are present. Okay, that can be observed that it is reddish part. Okay, same way further on it get subdivided. That in that there is a presence of nucleus, smooth muscle fiber. Okay, so this is a cell. Okay, in cell you can see there is a presence of nucleus and smooth muscle fiber. Okay, this is the cell which are present in a stomach. Okay, in a stomach you can see there is a presence of a cell. That cell are discussed. That in that nucleus is present as well as smooth muscle fiber are present. During breathing, we inhale oxygen. Okay, we know it very well. During breathing, we are inhaling oxygen. Where does this oxygen go? It is absorbed in the lungs and then it is transported to all body cells through blood. Okay, we are respiring our body. Okay, so we are inhaling oxygen. That oxygen which are present in our lungs, okay, that oxygen is transported to all the cell. Okay, all the cell, in all the cell what will be seen? That the oxygen which we are respiring or inhaling, that oxygen can be transported to the all the cell of a body. That oxygen is transported to the cell of a body. Okay, by blood. Okay, from blood. Okay, it is transported by the blood. Blood can transport oxygen from lungs to all part of a body. Okay, because all part of a body means all the part there is a presence of cell. So all the cell need oxygen. That need can be fulfilled by the blood because blood are good transporter. Okay, in a body blood are transporting oxygen to all the part of a cell. Why would cell need oxygen? The function of mitochondria we studied earlier provide a clue to this question. Okay. Blood flow and carries various substances from one part of a body to other. Okay, blood, okay, which are flowing in all the body. Okay, whole over body. That blood transport various substances and minerals. Okay, which are necessary for growth. Okay. For growth, there is a necessary of many material. That material can be transported by the blood to all the part of a body. Okay, so we can say that blood is a good transporter in body. For example, it carry oxygen and food to all cells. Okay, here you can see that blood carries oxygen and food to all the cell. In all the cell, you can see that foods and oxygen can be transported or fulfilled by the blood because blood are a good transporter. It also collects waste from all the part of the body and carries them to the liver and kidney for disposal. Okay. The second important function of a blood. Okay. This is the second important function of a blood. That blood carry waste material from all the part of a body. From all the part of a body, waste material can be collected by the blood and it can be disposed to liver and kidney. Okay, for disposal, liver and kidney, it can be separated. वहाँ पे क्या? क्योंकि वहाँ पे रख देंगे. So blood is collecting all the waste particle from the body and throw it in a liver and kidney. From liver and kidney it can be disposed. Blood and muscles are both example of tissue found in our body. Okay. Blood and muscles are both the example of tissue, one of the type of tissue which are necessary in our body. On the basis of function they perform, we can think of different type of animal tissue such as epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Okay. Now we will study in detail about different types of animal tissue. Blood is the type of connective tissue. Now, blood is said to be a connective tissue. That is a type of connective tissue, and muscles form a muscular tissue. Okay. So, from this we can say that blood is said to be a connective tissue, while muscle is said to be a muscular tissue. Okay. Now, the first is epithelial tissue. The covering or protective tissue in the animal body are epithelial tissue. Epithelial cover most organs and cavity within the body. It also performs a barrier to keep different body systems separate. Okay. What is the role of epithelial tissue? Covering and protective tissue. It is said to be a covering and protective tissue. Okay. It covers most of the organ and cavity. Okay. In the body you can see that most of the organs and cavity can be covered by the epithelial tissue. In same way it also performs a barrier. Okay. Barrier means what? Okay. It can separate out different body system, okay, from each other. Okay. So it cannot be intermixed with each other. Body system can be separated by epithelial tissue. Okay. So we say it as a protective tissue. The skin, the lining of a mouth, the lining of a blood vessel, lung alveoli and kidney tubular are all made up of epithelial tissue. Which of the parts are made up of epithelial tissue? Then here it is given that skin, lining of muscle or lining of mouth, lining of blood vessels, okay, lungs alveoli, okay, in lungs alveoli are present. That is also formed by epithelial tissue, and kidney tubules, okay, all are made up of epithelial tissue. All of them are made up of epithelial tissue. So you can see that many parts, okay, of our body are made from the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue cells are tightly packed and form a continuous sheet. Okay, they are tightly packed with each other and performing a sheet-like structure. Okay, they are performing a sheet-like structure by connecting with a tightly packed. Okay, they are tightly packed with interpacked with each other so that it cannot be separated out easily, okay, and performing a sheet-like structure. They have only a small amount of cementing material between them and almost, okay, in between them, okay, in between epithelial tissue there is only a cementing material which can bind them each other. No intercellular space. So there is no presence of intercellular space in between them. In epithelial tissue there will be no intercellular space. So from this we can say there is no space in between them because of their bind with the cementing material. Obviously, anything entering or leaving the body must cross at least one layer of epithelium. Okay, if the body, in a body, some material is inhabiting or coming inside, at that time it has to pass from the one layer of epithelium. Okay, so epithelium is said to be a protective tissue. It can protect. Okay, it protects the body from different gas material, okay, which are very harmful in our body. As a result, the permeability of the cell of various epithelia play an important role in regulating the exchange of material between body and external environment. So, it is the important role of epithelium tissue. It is the important role of epithelial tissue for exchanging a different material, okay, from body to a external environment. External environment means atmosphere, okay, outermost environment and body, okay, inter exchanging a material that is, it can be passed from the epithelial tissue. So, it is the role of epithelial tissue for exchanging a different material from surrounding to body. Okay, surrounding means external environment. Regardless of the type, all epithelial is usually separated from the underlying tissue by the extracellular fibrous basement membrane. Okay, it is also underlying. Underlying means what? It is also prepared, that is also present of fibrous basement membrane. Different epithelial. Okay, so differing structure that correlate with their unique function. Okay, different epithelial, so different structure that correlate with their unique function. Okay, their function are unique. For example, in cells, lining blood vessel or lungs alveoli, where transportation of substance occur through a selectively permeable structure. Okay, in this you can see that transportation of a substance occur through the selectively permeable structure. So, from this you can see that there is a simple flat kind of epithelium. This is called simple. Okay, here you can see that squamous structure, cuboidal structure, columnar structure. Okay, different epithelial tissue are and stratified squamous. Okay, so different on the basis of their structure name are given. Squamous epithelium, simple squamous epithelium cells are extremely thin and flat. Okay, that is, squamous epithelial cells are extremely what? Okay, flat and form a delicate lining. There is a delicate lining between them. The esophagus and lining of a mouth are also covered with the squamous epithelium. Okay, esophagus, which are present in our body, as well as lining of a mouth. Okay, that are made or covered with the squamous epithelium. The skin which protect the body is also made of squamous epithelium. The skin which are present in our body, okay, which are protecting from the gas material, that is also made up of squamous epithelium. Skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. Okay. Yeah, so different skin epithelial cells are arranged with each other and covered and perform a layer on the skin. Since they are arranged in the pattern of layer, the epithelium is called stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, here you can see that it is formed by the layer, pattern of layer. Okay, so we are saying that stratified squamous. Okay, where absorption and secretion occur as in the inner lining of the intestine. Tall epithelial cells are present. This columnar pillar-like structure, okay, we say it as an epithelial fascicle, movement across the epithelial barrier. Okay, so here you can see that column-like structure are there. Okay, column. Okay, it is the structure having a column. So we named as a columnar epithelium, which are hair-like projection on the outer surface and epithelial cell. Okay, in the outermost structure, there is a presence of hair-like structure. Okay, hair-like structure are present. This area can move, and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. Okay, mucus. Okay, it pushes out a mucus to clear a different part. This type of epithelium is thus seriated columnar epithelium. So we say it as a columnar serous epithelium. cuboidal epithelium. Now the second is cube shape. Okay, depending on their shape, name are given. Okay, cuboidal epithelium form the lining of a kidney tubules and duct of a salivary gland. Where it is present? Okay, lining of a kidney and salivary gland. That is a present of cuboidal epithelium. Where it protect mechanical support. Okay, it will protect mechanical support. As well as epithelial cell often acquire additional specialization, and gland cell. Okay, there is a presence of gland cell also in the epithelial, which can separate a substance at the epithelial surface. In the epithelial surface, it gets separate out a different material, so it cannot be intermixed with each other. Sometimes a portion of a epithelial tissue fold inward. Okay, epithelial tissues. Okay, portion of epithelial tissue are folded inward. Inward means what? Okay, it get folded inside it, and a multicellular grain is formed. Okay, due to folding, multicellular grain is formed, and this is called granule epithelium. Okay. Now the second is connective tissue. Blood is a type of connective tissue. Why would it be called connective tissue? A clue is proved in the introduction of this chapter. Now let us look at this type of tissue in some more detail. Okay, we know it very well. In starting only we have studied that blood is said to be a connective tissue because it is connecting different parts, as well as it is transporting many oxygen as well as many foods and necessary material to the different parts of a cell. Now the cell of a connective tissue are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix. The matrix may be jelly-like. Okay, matrix which are present, their structure or their features are like a jelly, fluid, dense or rigid. The nature of matrix differ in accordance with the function of a particular connective tissue. Okay, different connective tissue have different function. Here we have seen one connective tissue which is blood. Okay, in that we have seen that it is the role. Okay, its function is to transport a different water as well as material, different material and water and foods to the different part of a body. Here it is given. You can see it. Take a drop of blood on a slide and observe different cells present in it under a microscope. If we are observing a blood, okay, in a slide with the help of microscope, you will see that different cells are present in blood. Okay, here it is given that connective tissue types. Okay, the first one was the arterial, second one was adipose. Now here D. Third one is the hyaline, cartilage, and this one is the E. Okay, E1 is the types of a blood cell. Okay. Blood, which is also one type of connective tissue. Blood has a fluid matrix called plasma. In blood there is a presence of fluid, which we say it as a plasma, in which red blood cell RBC are present. Same way WBC, which we say it as a white blood cell, and platelet are suspended. Okay, all these are suspended in that. The plasma contain protein, salt and hormones. Okay, plasma which are present in a blood. Okay, that is also kya? Okay, in that also protein, salt and hormone are present. Blood's flow and transport gases. Okay, blood are flowing and carried out a different material from one part to another. Same way it get back a different material from the different part of our body. Transport gases, digested food, hormones and waste material to different part of our body, which we have already discussed. Bone is another example of connective tissue. Okay, now the second is bone, which is also known as connective tissue. It forms a framework that supports the body. Okay, for supporting a body or framework, okay, because of which our structure can be formed. Okay, in our body we know it very well. If the bone are not present, then our body is very loose. Okay, our body get loose. So bone are giving a structure of our body. It also anchors the muscles and support the main organ of our body. Main organ of a body are supported by the bone. Okay, and it is also anchoring our muscles. It is a strong and non-flexible tissue. Okay, bone is non-flexible tissue and it is very strong. We know it very well. It cannot be torn or it cannot be break. Okay, if lot of pressure or a force can be carried out on the particular bone, then and only it can be break down. Otherwise, it cannot be breaking. The advantage of these properties of a bone cells are embedded in the hard matrix that is composed of calcium and phosphorus compound. Okay, bones which are present embedded by the hard matrix, which we say it as a calcium and phosphorus compound. So, bones are made with the calcium and phosphorus compound. From this we can say that bones are made, bone cells which are present in our body that are made from the calcium and phosphorus compound. Two bones can be connected to each other by another type of connective tissue, which we say it as a ligament. Okay, with a ligament, two bones are connected with each other. This tissue is very elastic and tissue is very elastic. It has considerable strength. Ligament contain a Ritter matrix. In ligament you can see there is a Ritter matrix at present. As well as tendon connect bones to muscles and are another type of connective tissue. Tendon are fibrous tissue with a great strength but limited flexibility. Tendon which are present, okay, which are present in a bone and muscle. In between the bones and muscle there is a presence of tendon, and in between two bones, okay, in between two bones there is a presence of ligament. If the two bones are connected, that can be connected by the ligament, and if the bone and muscles are connected, that can be connected with the tendon. Okay. Another type of connective tissue are cartilage, has a widely spaced cell. It has a widely spaced cell. The solid matrix is composed of protein and sugar. Cartilage smoothen bone surface at a joint and is also present in the nose. Okay, it is also present in a nose. Cartilage which are present in a nose, ear and trachea. We can fold the cartilage of a ear, but we cannot bend the bone in our arm. Okay, we can bend cartilage but cannot bend a bone. Think of how two tissues are different. Okay, think it.
Let us take a look at the various types of animal tissues in details. In case of animals, where the body is expected to perform uncountable functions simultaneously, it is obvious that the number of tissues will also be innumerable, right? So how do we study all these? Well, we don't need to worry. For simplicity, we would prefer dividing all the animal tissues into four major categories depending upon their functions. Firstly, we have the one for protection, then another for connection, followed by movement and locomotion, and lastly for transmission of signals for quick and efficient work. Based on this, we get the four major types of tissues as epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. So in this video, let's begin with the first type, that is the epithelial tissue. As the name says, epi is above, thus epithelial tissue is the one which lies above the entire body, forming a protective covering. Along with covering the body, it also forms a barrier between the various organs separating them. Now the structure of the epithelial tissue is quite evident from its function. Yes, since it has to perform a protective layer, it cannot afford to have spaces between the cells. Hence, we find the epithelial tissue to have tightly packed cells forming continuous sheets. The tissues lack intercellular spaces and has extremely small amount of cementing material. So every single substance that passes in or out of the cells needs to cross the epithelial layer at least once. Accordingly, the permeability of cells will differ in various epithelia depending upon the exchange of materials. Now, when we talk about all the epithelial cells in general, we need to first understand a common characteristic between them. May it be any different type of epithelia, all of them will always have the cells resting on a thin, fibrous, supportive membrane-like structure. This is called the basement membrane. The basement membrane, apart from supporting, helps to hold the cells together in a single straight line to form a uniform and consistent layer. Okay, so getting back to the types of epithelia, in order to study them, let's take a simple example. Imagine this to be a basement membrane. Now, depending upon the functions, let's classify them. So let's say the first function is filtration. What kind of structure should be present according to you? Yes, it needs to be a very flat surface. So this type of epithelium is referred to as simple squamous epithelium. Now let's take up the next function, that is absorption and secretion. For this, obviously we would need a larger surface area, right? Which is why we have these tall pillar-like cells on the basement membrane making up the columnar epithelium. Now at times, we need the strength or support along with the larger surface area. In this case, we slightly change the structure to cube-like cells and form the cuboidal epithelium. Lastly, we have certain organs that need specialized secretions. So in such cases, we need to modify a few cells that would perform secretion of specific